Hi, hello. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and if not, I hope it gets better from here. I'm gonna be so for real. I worked myself too hard and ended up crashing yesterday, and that's why there's no videos from yesterday. But we're gonna keep on moving on. So I'm gonna just not do that again. So channeled song for today is Kings and Queens by Ava Max, as well as Die With A Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Synchronicities, the numbers that I got were 444, 55, 707, 77, 222, 1234, 1818, 555, 1010, 333, 1717, 6565, 411, 0551, 711, and 0808. Other synchronicities include perhaps you got your paycheck early. Hi, hello, welcome in. You could have gotten your paycheck early. You could have a passed on older brother. You could work with Archangel Michael. The movie Anastasia popped into my mind. That could also be your name. Your name could also be Jason. Star Trek was relevant. The Army Reserves was relevant for some reason. Otters are relevant, and Clumsiness could have been dropping things, that type of thing. New cuts you weren't aware you were going to get may have appeared, that type of thing. Hi, hello, welcome in, everybody. Let's roll some astrological dice to see what house and sign this collective reading is going to be in. Let's see. First, we have the 5th house for creativity and self-expression. Interesting, okay. What sign is that going to be in? Hello. And we have 9. 9 is, let me see, I believe that is, yeah, Capricorn. Capricorn in creativity and self-expression. Let me double check. Oh no, Sagittarius, my apologies. Sagittarius in creativity and self-expression. Ooh, fun. Optimism, travel, interesting. Let's get into the runes. Hello everybody, hi. See some detail. Tell me a bit more on this Sagittarius in the house of creativity and self-expression, Spirit. Hello. We have Burkano for growth in creativity and self-expression. And then we also have Wunjo, joy. Ooh, growth and optimism, which is Sagittarius is really good at optimism. So growth and optimism around our creativity and self-expression. Ooh, fun. Let's pull in charms. I want to know more details, please. Hi, hello. Charms regarding this spirit. Okay, we have the Ancestors charm here. This could also be angels, whatever you believe in. That's what this is. Like I said, passed on older brother or Archangel Michael, what have you, that type of thing. This is the crystal ball charm for intuition. So intuition coming in here. And then we also have this little bell, specifically an orange bell. Bells represent clearing of negative energies. And the color orange relates to the sacral chakra, which is all about creativity and self-expression. So growth and joy in the realm of creativity and self-expression. Very interesting. Hi, hello, thank you for the likes. Let me get into the tarot cards. Let's see. Very interesting. These are my yes, no, maybe cards. The way I work is you don't have to give me anything, you don't have to pay me anything. All I ask you to do, you don't even have to put your business on the internet. That's not who I am, I don't like that. All you need to do is think your question if you have one in your head, and as I do this big collective reading covering this very thing I just pulled all the runes and dice for, as I do that, they will come out and I will tell you if you have a yes no question, that's your answer, okay? We don't need to know all your business, all the tea, we don't need it. okay? That's how I work here. Let's see. What's going on with the collective today? Yeah, I have a cut here I was not expecting, and I dropped a bunch of stuff today, so someone could be a bit extra clumsy today. So just be mindful of your movements at this time. Just be careful. Thank you for the follows and the likes. I appreciate you. Alright, Spirit. Tell me what's going on with the collective. Oh wow, we had 2 already. So if you had a yes/no question related to money, the answer is yes. Okay? Yes. Unemployment, frustration, adversity, spiritual awareness, faith restored, moving past hardship, reintegration, optimism, and assistance. Okay? So this is the 5 of Pentacles. It's all about victim mindset, being ostracized, bullying, being poor, that type of thing. But in the reverse, that's the opposite. You can read it right there. There's that self-expression here, being able to express with the throat chakra. Archangel Michael. Moving into optimism, some hope, some faith. And we have the 6 of Swords here in reversed as well. Obstacles to progress is coming up here. So, obstacles to progress. This talks about leaving mindsets and words behind. So, leaving a mindset behind as we embrace, some obstacles to progress while moving forward into optimism. So it's like, okay, it's feeling a little hard to have faith in things. Got it. 3 of Pentacles, teamwork. If you had a yes/no question about working with people, school, that type of thing, your answer is yes. Apprenticeship, learning, studying, growing, hard work, commitment. Thank you. Determination, goals, dedication. Yeah, so finding obstacles to progress and finding it a little hard to have hope or faith in things as we're trying to grow things, work with other people, right? A little bit hard. Thank you for the follow. Finding it a little difficult. Some obstacles here. Teamwork, yeah. Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, you could be, so this is feeling like maybe we're working with people where we're doing most of the work. Goodness, that's a lot of incense smoke. There's a ton of it coming over towards me. So yeah, there's like a ton of clearing of negative energy in our field at the moment. And it's doing a lot of spiraling. So our we might have a up spike of energy coming in. A lot of creative energy. The Fool in reverse showing up here. It's time to embark on a brand new beginning. Risk, inexperience, impulsiveness, poor judgment. Interesting. Thank you. Yeah, it's like obstacles to progress around teamwork. I'm feeling like there's, obstacles to progress. We're moving forward though. But there is some frustration. So it's like we're trying to build something here, but we're having some obstacles that makes things a little bit frustrating. The Judgment card just came in. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is yes. Especially if it relates to seeing true colors, making big life decisions. It would be a big yes, because this is the card of wake-up calls, of judgment, right? It's called the Judgment card. The daily choices I make now align me with my life's purpose. Yeah, awakening. Snap judgments, apportioning blame, final reckoning. A mandatory choice that will change your life for the better. So there's a choice here too. Yeah, it's like there's this creativity and self-expression, growth and joy. It's like choosing to be a bit more optimistic in things, perhaps. even if it kind of feels like we're being a bit naive. Getting that as well. Thank you. I do see you guys putting likes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, recognition. Recognition. So if you had a yes/no question around, will I pass a test? Will I get a promotion? Your answer is yes. Thank you. Success, satisfaction, victory, having the advantage. Interesting. Judgment being called, but we still get our flowers. Recognition. Oh, okay. So a tower just showed up here. Yeah, so it's like things coming to light that I've got it. So for someone here, you were the one that was putting the most work into this, and other people were taking credit for it, but it's coming to light that you were the one that did most of the work, and you're going to get the recognition for doing so. Got it. That's for somebody. For others of you, it could be finding some success in turning a viewpoint around. So going from being glass is half empty to more of a glass is half full. So like putting more optimism in our life. Just to kind of bring in some change. Tell me more, Spirit, on what's going on with the collective at this time. Thank you. Yes. A choice. What'd I say? Choice. Plans. What are you planning? A new start. Some sort of new venture, right? Aries is all about newness, new things, especially in the realm of Mars. Inspiration, new inspiration. Decisions, options, suddenly leaving. That's that impulsiveness. Ooh. What are we trying to choose here? Versus fear of making decisions. Ooh, okay. So it's like, yeah, Aries. The Three of Cups with friendship. If you had a yes/no question around friendship, family, the answer is yes, okay? Celebration, community, joy, festivity. Yeah, what is this choice you're trying to make? What's the choice? I want to see the two options. What are they? What are the two options? The Two of Cups. If you had a question about love, your answer is yes. I mean, that's... Two of Cups is like perfect reconciliation. It's not reconciliation, gross. Unless that's what you want. It's the perfect reciprocal energy is what I was trying to say. But yes. So, union, partnership, connection, understanding, mutual respect. So choosing between like a new, because this is creativity and self-expression, like choosing better partnerships in that realm. Doesn't have to be love. I wasn't getting love vibes, so like just surrounding ourselves with people who are more inspiring versus the Lovers card. Are you serious? Okay. My personal value system leads me to love. What? Hold on. Major choices. Temptation, commitment, partnerships. Well, I wasn't feeling love, but it's a strong indication that some of you may be trying to choose whether to stay or go towards some sort of love offer. If that's not for you, don't take it, okay? For others of you where you're not looking for love, it could just be that we're learning how to, it's like trying to choose between better partnerships, like learning how to balance out and find more reciprocal partnerships in the realm of business, friendship, what have you. You know your story, okay? Fascinating. Those are our choices. Venusian energy, Mercurial energy, the heart, or the intuition. Ooh. Fascinating. Okay, cool. And then the Three of Cups was right after that for like friendship. So like celebrating things. It's like, I want my recognition. I want my better partnerships, my soulmate, what have you. Like whatever this choice is will lead to growth in optimism. Because Sagittarius rules optimism, expansion, travel. Like it's literally very happy in the 9th house, or in the 5th house. Not as happy as it is in the 9th house, but in the house of creativity and self-expression, it's quite happy there. And the ancestors are giving you an intuitive nudge about it, clearing negative thinking around it. Interesting. Tell me more. Like we're leaving behind that negative spiral think, but we're having some progress issues. Tell me more. If you had a question about financial matters, or like time management, that type of thing, your answer is no. Sorry if that's not what you want to hear. There's some insecurity here. Insecurity. That may be why we're having a hard time making this choice. There's some insecurity here around. What are we insecure about? The fact that it's risky? Like making this choice is risky, so we're insecure about it a bit? Wondering if it'll lead to stagnation? Not knowing what's on the other side of the jump. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I see that star card flipped over in here, which means there's an undercurrent. We're healing something around this at this time. We're healing this fear of the unknown. Yeah, anxiety. We have anxiety around it. So if you had a question that revolves around the thought processes, things that we're afraid of, the answer is no. Okay? Yeah, negativity, deep unhappiness, stress, overwhelmed. Focusing on the past. That affects our self-confidence. Or I apologize, that affects our sacral chakra. Our, how we feel, how creative we are. Yeah, because if we're spending all of our time freaking out, we can't really be very creative, you know? So we have anxiety around this. Yeah, because we're insecure about it. Like this choice is like, okay, but will I be stable here? Tell me more. Yeah, creativity and self-expression. It's kind of giving like I want to go towards something I'm passionate about, but I'm not sure I'll make it. Thank you. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that was 3 in a row. Hold on. But one of them came out. Oh wow, that was 4 in a row. Okay. So if we have a question regarding conflict, whatever conflict that's been going on in your life, kind of like, will this be over? Is this person going to stop doing this to me? The answer is yes. Okay? The answer is yes. Yeah. Like we have anxiety around this in the reversed. A lot of compromising, setbacks, disagreements, petty squabbling. Interesting. Yeah, that blue again. The throat chakra, expression. More expression, talking. Having our desires met. Even expressing our desires so anybody is aware that you have them. More of that sideways. So back and forth on shifting to a new perspective. One moment we're feeling trapped, confined, uncertain. It's time for a sacred pause. Stillness grants perspective. And the other one is apathy, negative patterns, detachment. So it's like, oh man. Going back and forth on this. What's this other horizontal one? The 5 of Cups, regret. Back and forth on regret. On regret. disappointment, focusing on the negative, guilt, letting go, hope, moving forward. Yeah, healing that. And what is this? Around the King of Pentacles, security. Interesting. So when I look at this, the majority answer... Sideways cards, I don't typically take that answer because it's so back and forth, but I do see a yes here. Especially around matters of the material realm, money. A mature, grounded male, successful, bettering yourself, not a risk taker. We're afraid of risks. We're so afraid of risks. Yeah, thriving. I want to thrive. We're someone preoccupied with financial matters. Yeah, we're trying to call in our abundance, our luck. Right? Taurus, Jupiter. Jupiter's all about luck, abundance, money, that type of thing. And Taurus tend to be stubborn. Stubborn, very fixed, very like, no, I don't like change. Change is scary, right? I'm good where I'm at. They plant their feet rather firmly. Like in their healed energy, they're actually super great. They're grounded, they're practical, they're good. Surrounded by all the really nice things, right? Sitting with all their abundance, with their little pentacle, with their nice house back there, living life. That type of thing. But yeah, it's like that's where we're at. It's like we're very anxious about this. We want to get to this point, but we're also super honed in on, I need to make sure I'm stable before I choose to do this. Please don't spam the chat. All I ask of you guys in here, I don't typically do yes, no's because I don't like putting your business on the internet. Just point blank period. As I pull these for the collective, this big overarching one, I will let you know as I pull them out. If you have a question, your answer is yes, it's no, and if it relates to this specific area. Okay? That's it. That's all you gotta do. You don't gotta say anything. Don't gotta give me anything, none of that, okay? But if any of this resonates with you, feel free to stay. Yeah, we're worried about our security. We're afraid to make this choice. It's scary. I just saw this magician in the reverse. So yeah, we're stuck in a manifestation loop of negative think. It's that, when I say that, that means like, what if it all goes wrong? What if I can't do it? What if, right? I have all the resources I need, inner and outer, feeling like we don't have enough. Blocked creativity. This whole reading is about creativity and self-expression. Yeah. Indecision, frustration, delays. All up in our head, going back and forth, right? The magician can get whatever they want. They're the alchemizer. They literally turn lead into gold, right? And they have everything they need on the table, right? They're very passionate. They're very full of motivation, desire, willpower, right? And they're very confident within themselves too with this yellow. They have the feelings, the emotions that go with it. They have their pentacles, so time, money, whatever they have in the material realm, they go forth with it. This wand here represents desires, willpower, fire, the drive to do things. And then the sword here is our thoughts and our words. And they use the combination of all of that to call forth what they want, right? They express it. Universe, I want this. I align with this. And the universe goes, all right, heard. Confirmation. Give her a second. She's a little dramatic. Okay. She's dramatic. Sorry if it's loud. There we go. Sometimes spirit gets really dramatic in my readings. We're manifesting more defeat. So because we're so stressed about it, we're calling in more of the same, right? Using our thoughts and our words in order to call in more. So if you're wondering that, Is someone being honest with me, that type of thing? The answer is a big fat no, okay? I'm sorry to be the one to burst your bubble. Yeah, conflict, loss, betrayal, tension, manipulation, victory at all costs, that type of thing. Power struggle, bitterness, recklessness. Yeah, Spirit really does, especially my team. They are all drama. All drama. Loud as flip. Alright, I'm gonna do 2 more because I think I have a good bead on what's happening here, and I'll move into the why I'm even here, why you're looking at me today. Why I'm on your FYP. 2 more on what is happening with the collective. Yeah, they are. They're super helpful. Tell me more on what's going on with the collective. 2 more, Spirit. I see that again. On the undercurrent, healing this issue. Thank you. Page of Cups, around our intuition and creativity. So if you're wondering if you should start a creative venture, or if someone has a crush on you, the answer is yes. You know the question you thought. Don't take it if that's not what you're looking for. Love, comfort, kindness, intuition, a good idea. That's like... yeah, I'm gonna call you out. Like, the Page of Cups is a young energy, they're new. Doesn't necessarily have to be age, it just means new and experienced. But they're playful, they've got their colorful, beautiful little outfit on, full of expression, right? Full of creativity, full of pink. This pink color, so a lot of self-love as well. So someone who pours a lot of love into themselves. And they have this little cup, their little heart here, and there's a fish in it, which is so weird. So weird. But that's the point. It's supposed to be more whimsy. Intuition. Fishes also are messengers. They represent the divine, especially if you're of the Christian faith. The fish represents Jesus. Moon in Pisces. If you're a moon in Pisces, hello, my fellow kinsmen. The daydreamers. All about daydreaming. Daydreaming. Thank you for the donuts. Yeah, we're worried that it's not gonna work out, but we're a daydreamer. We need to be whimsy. We need to be honed into our intuition. If you're a Pisces moon, hi. If you're a Pisces moon like I am, you have to be tapped into your intuition. You have to daydream. You have to do it. You have to have a creative outlet. Yes, you do. We need it. I promise you. We will implode if we don't have one. Please don't spam the chat. Victory, though. If you have a question about somebody coming back, and we're not talking toxic partners, okay? No, that's not happening, all right? You know your story. If there's someone coming back, if you want, like, this represents victory. So if it's like a legal battle, if it's anything where a victory would make sense, your answer is yes, okay? Especially if it requires you to be super honest, if it requires a lot of talking, the answer is yes. Okay. No obstacles will stop me now. Yeah, we need to get here. No obstacles will stop me now. We're so worried about it, but there's a victory here. We're worried about it. It's kind of a little bit silly. Like, if you just make that choice, you'll be fine. Okay? Yeah, trust your intuition. Okay? And I've said this before in many lives, and that's, if you're new, you've probably never heard of it, but listen. Fear, anxiety, and panic, they shout. They're loud. Intuition whispers. Okay? If you're ever wondering if something's for you, you need to go into yourself and listen for the whisper, okay? If it's constantly in your head and you're like focusing on it, that is not your intuition. No. Thank you for the follow. Interesting. We have the Hierophant right after that. I choose which traditions I embrace and how I do it. The Hierophant's all about religion, authority, contracts. So if you're looking for contracts, the answer's maybe. The answer's maybe. You see it on the card, okay? It's a maybe. traditional values, convention, conformity, marriage, religion, beliefs, knowledge sharing, that type of thing. So that's interesting that that came up. Yeah, tapping into the intuition. Because it's like in spirit. Victory. Yeah, so tap into your intuition. Your intuition will not lead you astray. Spirit will guide you towards what's best. And that's the truth. Clarity. They'll guide you towards that clarity that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Yes, they will. Download it right into that little brain. Innovative ideas. Yeah, because you have whatever you're afraid of choosing, whatever this creative venture is, whether it's I gotta decide if I want to go forth with a person who's like my muse, who inspires me, who gives me new ideas, but I'm afraid it's not gonna work out. The spirit's like, no, that's not. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, that's old stuff happening. That's trauma brain going on. Listen to your intuition, okay? Don't let fear drive the bus. Alright? So I'm going to put away my yes-no cards. I will not be answering any more of those. I'm going to move into the Egyptian tarot here for why you even are here. Why you're even here in my live receiving this message. Yes. Why we're even here. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, a little bit more playfulness is needed. Spirit's telling you to get out of the anxiety mindset. You need to do more creative things in order to pull you out of that fear mindset. Okay? Pull you out of it. Laugh a little bit more. Get whimsy. Alright, Spirit. Why do they need to know this at this time? Thank you. King of Swords. You're being too harsh on yourself. You're being too critical. Knock it off. Respectfully. You're being too hard on yourself. Thank you. You're being way too hard on yourself. You're using that big, beautiful brain of yours to torture yourself, and you need to stop. Okay? Yeah. We're using that big, creative brain in order to hurt ourselves, and we don't need to be doing that. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time. Please and thank you. 6, more of that lover's energy, so balancing our creative aspects with our go-getter energy, our ambition. I've already put away my yes-no cards. I will not be answering any of those at this time. The 8 of Swords. Yeah, we're stuck in the mind prison. Oh no. We're being overly harsh on ourselves and we're stuck in our little mind prison. Trapped in a cage of... Oh, I just got the image of Anchorman when they talked about being caught in a cage of emotion. So funny. Not that it's funny that like you're there, but that image in my head, I just heard it. Tell me more, Spirit. And the thing about being stuck in the mental prison is you didn't put yourself there, but it's just you and your own thoughts. You can leave if you so choose. It's difficult, but you can open the door, you can take off the binding, you can remove the blindfold. There's nobody there holding it over you. It's you and your thoughts. The Star! Hold on, I gotta cover her because she's all out in her glory, bits and bobs. The Star. Remember how I said during the first part that there was an undercurrent of healing? The Star represents healing. So we're healing it. Spirit's telling you that this is your energy. You're trying to heal it. You could also be an Aquarius. Doesn't have to be. I've had Aquarius, I've had Taurus, and I've had Aries pop up. Strong. Could be in your chart. Doesn't have to be. That's for somebody. Thank you for the follows and the likes. But yeah, this is a healing thing. We have a tendency to be hypercritical on ourselves and get stuck in our little mind palace where we imagine the worst case scenarios, all of them all at once, and then we live there. Thank you for the likes and follows. 1111. Yeah, the problem is when we get stuck there and we imagine it, when you're super creative, when you're super imaginative, especially if you're a Pisces moon, right? You manifest. You have such a powerful imagination that it's easier for you to manifest things into your life just through imagination. So if we keep ourselves stuck in this mind prison and we constantly hyper focus on negative things, we call it in really, really, really fast, right? I don't want to make you panic or anything, right? That's not the point. It's just to bring that to your awareness so that when you are hanging out in your little mind prison, thinking of all the worst case scenarios, we have to recognize, oh, I need to figure out how to ground myself and not continue to do that. Easier said than done, I know. But as we heal, we're going to call in, like I said, we call in our manifestations. The wands, fire, manifestation, willpower, creativity, more of it. We call in more. As we heal this tendency to go live here and focus on all the worst case scenarios, we will call in better things because we'll start harnessing. Yeah. We'll start harnessing the ability of imagining things, flip the script of, okay, but what if it works out? And that's when we start calling in better and better and better situations. And even if it doesn't work out, instead of spending all of our time here, we learn how to process it better and move on. So we're not living here. Tell me more, Spirit, on why they need to hear this at this time. Thank you for the likes. Oh my goodness. Let's see. The Five of Wands in reverse. Yeah, we have that internal conflict at this time. This is an internal conflict. So it's like, I want better for my life, but I have a tendency to focus on the worst case scenario all the time. I want to leave it behind. But I have an issue with being hypercritical. Being too harsh. Hello, Ree. Being too harsh with myself. Maybe this is the type who's like an artist and everything we make, we hate it. The number one weakness of all creatives. We're our worst enemy. The Knight of Cups, and who is this? Hold on. The Page of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups. That's funny. So the Page of Cups, I said earlier, where did he go? Where are you hiding, Page? That young creative energy, young creative ventures. Yes. We have him in the reversed. Okay. We have him in the reversed here. The reversed, we're not listening to our intuition. There's some childhood issues revolving specifically around why we're so harsh on our own creative ventures. Bad news, broken dreams. We don't really plan for tomorrow either. So, yeah, we don't tap into our creativity. We don't have enough fun in our lives, especially. The Knight of Cups is all about what I want wants me, right? My dreams are worthy of me getting, right? What I want wants me. My dreams want me to. I have the dream because I'm worthy of the dream. And it's all about romanticizing your life as well. So, like, having a fun time here. You know? Yes. It's like we can't really romanticize our life if we refuse to be whimsy. How are you going to enjoy yourself if you can't be playful? If you can't be a little goofy sometimes, you know? Especially if you're like, I can't possibly be new at creative ventures. I have to be the master before I'm the apprentice, right? So, super harsh on our own creative ventures, super harsh on ourselves, that type of thing. And there's that Queen of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, we could have had an overcritical. So the issue here is we had overcritical parents. That resonates for somebody. All right, very overcritical parents. And now both of our energies, our creative side and our go-getter side, are both mirroring. So it's repeating the words of these people in your voice. We've decided that they were correct, that they were the god and goddess of all creativity, of all things love, of all things emotion. And what they said was truth, fact, and that's who we are now. We have to hold ourselves to their standard now. Yep. That's who it's for. If you did not have those types of parents, that just means that your head and your heart are in alignment, but in the worst way. Because the Queen of Swords is a bitch, and the King of Swords is an asshole. Yeah, there you go. Like, super, like, both of those together are extremely harsh with their words. They tell the truth, but they use truth to hurt. Right? Instead of using truth to bring clarity, they use it specifically to hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, you want to know something about yourself, and then they say something, and it's like the meanest thing they could have said. You know? Please don't spam the chat. I'm not doing yes, no's at this time. I've already put those cards away. And I'm sorry if you had parents that were super critical of you. That sucks. Especially if they were super critical of your art, of your creativity, of your imagination, of you just being a kid. Good grief. Tell me more. The Six of Cups in reverse. Yeah, we don't have very good past memories in this realm. Yeah, so our creativity wasn't nurtured. That's why we have a hard time tapping into our inner child and being creative. Yep, that's the truth. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Truth and clarity. We do not have good memories about this. And we are repeating their words in our own head. Thank you for the likes. I see the sun though. So we're healing and we're on our journey to happiness regarding this, because we already got that in the runes. Growth of happiness, letting go of negative thought process. Optimism, stepping into more optimism. That Two of Wands again in the reversed. So we had it earlier in here, choice, sideways. In the reverse, that's all about indecision. Revealed indecision, confusion. Avoidance of facing reality, denial of truth, fear of making decisions, removal of blindfold, confrontation issues. Yeah, that means that whenever we have a choice available to us, we kind of panic. We panic a little bit. We panic and we don't know what to do. Confrontation issues. King of Cups, yeah. King of Cups. The King of Cups, so I do like to see this, yeah. I do like to see this upright, because it means, right, that we do have the ability to be not drown in our emotions. We're a bit more emotionally immature, probably because we were... If you had these types of parents, you were also the person who had to manage their emotions in order to be safe. So walking on eggshells. If they had a bad day, it was everybody's problem, that type of thing. So we've become quite emotionally mature, able to read people, see when their mood changes, their tone changes, that type of thing. So I see that you're, again, cups, lots of cups. So super creative person. Very creative. The fact that you're critical of your creativity, your imagination, that type of thing, your emotions, is silly, to be honest. Not to diminish what you're going through, but whatever they said about Like, you being hypercritical of your creativity is silly. You're the king of emotion. You're the king of, like, you're the king of creativity. You're the, like, that's where you're supposed to be. In your intuition, in creativity, in the emotion. That's where you're supposed to be. That's where your home is. That's where you're supposed to be at. So to be like, I can't do that, would be denying yourself your own home. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time. Thank you. The Hierophant in reversed. So that's so crazy that because we had that earlier, spirit showing up here. Conformity, tradition. In reversed, it's challenging tradition, unconventional lifestyles, unconventional relationships, reverse roles, non-conformity. That showing up here is crazy because it's like victory around, clarity around traditions that we follow. We're not like these people that we came from. Yeah, we're a contradiction to our own. I'm hypercritical of my, like I said, being creative is your home. Being creative is where you're supposed to be, deep in your intuition, lost in the sauce, imagination. That's where we're supposed to be. If you have a Pisces moon in your chart, delusion is your solution, okay? And I don't say that lightly. Thank you, Man Ray. Listen, I'm a Pisces moon. The more delusional I act, the better my life gets. For real, though. The more I try to stick to normal stuff and be like, you know, I'm gonna go get a 9 to 5, the more my life gets messed up. I'm gonna be so for real. Every time I've tried to follow the grain, it has gone sideways, upside down, 360, no scope, all that stuff. It's just better if I be myself. Oh, that was a whole lot of mess. Hold on. Like I said, a whole lot of mess. 7 of Swords. Yeah. 7 of Swords. We had the 5 of Swords here, which is like manipulation and conflict. The 7 of Swords is more like strategy. Yeah, so you think different. The Chariot, there's that victory again. And there's that 5 of Swords. Victory over the manipulation. Strategy to achieve a victory over manipulation. The lies you were told. That's so cool. I love that. Yes. So instead of listening, now we're getting to the rebellion part. I love that. Let's go. You're here because you're entering your rebellious era. It's time to not be so critical of your creativity and your intuition, of who you are, of denying your essence. Why would you do that? I mean, I know why, but like when we think of it objectively, like so over here, when we remove ourselves from the situation and look at it from the outside, it feels so silly. It's like telling a fish it has to climb a tree. Good, I love to hear it. The King of Wands. Yes, we're currently, so we are not jumping in yet. We're still, the King of Wands, when they're in the reverse, is someone who feels like they have to prove that they're the king. The King of Wands just is. The King of Wands just is. So we're learning how to stop giving a flip about proving ourselves. And to just be ourselves. The King of Wands is as much of a king as the King of Swords and the King of Cups. There's nothing wrong with him at all. The King of Cups rules over emotion and intuition. The King of Swords rules over logic and thought. The King of Wands rules over manifestation and desire and willpower, right? They charge forth, they're inspiring. The King of Cups is the person who's calm, they're chill. And we had that King of Pentacles up there too, so the person who's very grounded and practical, who rules over the material. All of them are kings in their own right, and there's nothing wrong with them. The way they rule, the way they operate is perfectly fine in their respective areas. We're learning that we don't have to prove that we're the king. We already were. Or queen, or what have you. We're all grown here. We have working brains. Last one on why they need to hear this at this time. Oh, they gave you 2. Look at that. The Hanged Man, the perspective shift. And I gotta cover her too. And the Empress! The Empress! The Empress, yes! The ultimate, stepping into the divine feminine, stepping into the intuitive, creative, just beautiful, beautiful energy. The Empress she's the combination of all of the queens. She is the divine feminine aspect, nurturing, creativity, intuition, receptive energy. I am worthy of my creativity. I am worthy of good things. That's who she is. What I want wants me. And I don't need to chase it. I don't need to bend over backwards. I just need to sit and wait. Because it will come to me. Yes, it will come to me. Because I'm the Empress. Right? Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So, let's get into what you even need to do about it with the Steampunk Tarot. Normally, I look over here at my giant pile of tarot cards, but these ones were loud. They said no. I always start with the yes-no ones for y'all, but after that, it's just whoever is being sassy that day, and these ones were loud. This is my Rainbow Mafia crowd, isn't it? Hello. So, yes. I love that. So we're learning, yeah, we're learning how to not be so critical over ourselves, and we're trying to heal this. Yes. So, I want to know what you even need to do about it, because I can tell you what's going on. I can tell you why you're even here, but we want practical advice. We want something. Like, what do I even need to do about it? What am I even here for? Like, you just read me to the filth. Now I need to know what to do about it. Thank you for the likes. I do see y'all, I promise. I appreciate you guys. I want to stay focused. Otherwise, we'd be here all day while I talk at the camera. We're not here for that. What do they need to do about this, Spirit? Let's give them some practical advice. What do they even need to do about it? Thank you, Queen of Wands! So we're still learning how to not look for proving ourselves to other people, proving that we need to be the king. The Queen of Wands is the queen of manifestation, right? She's optimistic with that beautiful little sunflower. She's very tapped into what she wants. She goes and she gets it. I mean, period. She has the drive, she has the willpower, she has the desire for it. She's confident in herself, she's very optimistic. She's just like the Empress. She's like, it's going to come to me. She's very much like the magician as well, an alchemizer. Like, I don't care what anyone says, I'm getting it. I'm getting it because I'm the Queen of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles in reversed, though. Why? Clarify the Knight of Pentacles in reversed. That one did a whole cartwheel. And so did that one on the floor. Okay. Where'd you go, friend? There you are. The Moon. Tap into... Okay. In order to embrace your Queen of Wands energy, we need to tap into this little armor here. Okay? Tap into why we feel like not working on the things that we want. Okay? The Knight of Pentacles will always succeed as long as he is upright. As long as he is putting in the work. Right? And I'm not talking about slogging at 18-hour jobs and suffering the whole time. It's putting in the work towards the things that you want. It's showing up consistently. It's discipline. Okay? We need to shine a light on this armor that we're wearing that we don't want to take off. Alright? We're sitting here in our little dog energy, our socially acceptable energy, when we need to be the little kitty here. We need to be a bit more knock everything off the table. Yeah. This is all about inner power, too. Independence. Being more independent. Cute. Yeah, why should I give a damn about what you have to say? You don't like my art? Don't look at it. The end. Find a different artist. But my art is still worthy of creation. Yes. Love it. Tell me more on what they need to do about this. Yeah, coming out of this armor that we wear. This resistance. Thank you for the likes, oh my god. And step out of apathy. Sitting around looking bored at your life, being upset, that's not gonna help you. Okay? That's not gonna help you. Yep. That's not gonna help you. That's just gonna lead you more into this restless, antsy feeling of I can't rest, I can't, hello! I can't rest, I can't focus on what I want, something's missing from my life, so then I go back into I'm not happy with my life, I'm dissatisfied. It's like, no. They don't want you to do that. They want you to not do this. Yeah. Leave it behind. Nothing wrong with loops. It's just recognizing you're in the loop, you know? Thank you for the follows. Oh my gosh. What else they need to do about it at this time? Yeah, I feel this need to like hurry up. So let me slow down. Let me respect my cards. What else they need to do about it at this time? I keep looking at my little fox statue here. I have a little fox. And it's reminding me of being clever. And using our mind a bit. Thinking on your feet. Being more adaptable. Wow. Seven of Swords in the reversed. That was crazy. If I wouldn't have believed it either. Seven of Swords in reversed. Coming clean. There's the Death card in reverse too. So it's like we're resistant. We're resistant to this change, coming clean, speaking our desires, being like, no, you know what? I don't really appreciate that you are always critiquing my art. I don't like that. I'm afraid to make art because I'm afraid that people are going to mock me like these two jerks did in the past. Yeah, I don't want to put my most vulnerable self out there and then have it picked apart by the masses. Even though I'm the one picking it apart now. So instead of like, now it's just here at home, me, destroying my own creativity. Sideways. Five of Swords, yeah. Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. Living here, like being stuck here, stuck in the manipulation, the conflict, the disagreements, all this stuff. Betrayals, and then leaving it behind. So like, yeah, they're saying you're resistant to this change. You're resistant to ending this cycle. We're trying to leave it behind. So what they want you to do is figure it out. Figure out which way you want to go. And they're not mad at you or anything like that. It's like I said, you're here because you're being made aware. You're waking up. The more you're able to notice, the only way to fix a problem is to notice there's a problem. Ah, I just saw an Ace of Pentacles that will lead you to new opportunities in the material realm. Once we stop picking apart our own ideas, our own innovation, our own creative projects, that's when the material comes in. I just got a notification of sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. Yeah, whoever's critiquing your ideas, your motivations, has no business doing so. None at all. There it is. What is this? The Ace of Wands. That will also give you that inspiration, that motivation, and that spark that's been missing. You'll reclaim your spark. It'll come back. Sideways again. So this little journey here, yep, towards your creativity and your intuition. What I say? When we let it go, we get our spark back. When we let it go, we get our spark back. And then we embrace the creativity. And we go be our weird, beautiful, glorious little self here. And more opportunities come in with that jet. That little plane there. It's not a jet, that's a plane. What am I talking about? That little plane. More opportunities. I'm telling you. The longer we stay in this, the more we stay in not being motivated to go after the things we want, not having really any desire to do anything, and the more life sucks. The more gray everything is, the more boring, the more drab, the more dull. Yup, yup. Yep, the more we don't sit in our Queen of Pentacles. There she is again. The Queen of Pentacles is stable, she's secure, I told you that Ace of Pentacles. The new opportunities. Right now, we're sitting in Queen of Pentacles. I don't feel grounded, I don't feel secure, I don't feel stable. I feel like I don't have any time management. My life is kind of all over the place. Once we figure that out, right? Once we stop listening to this self-fulfilling prophecy and step into our whimsy, our creativity, and our intuition, that's when the pentacle shows up and the gate opens. Oh my gosh, Tanzania, hello! Yes, and then you step into your Nine of Pentacles, through the gate, into the garden. Look how nice she looks, chilling in her garden. She's the mini empress. That's what I call her. Right? The Nine of Pentacles is like single and loving it energy, right? I'm in my garden, I'm wearing really nice clothes, I'm surrounded by abundance, I'm chill, I'm content. I got Spirit here with the hawk who has a bird's eye view. They can see everything of our path, right? Guiding us along the way. But the traditional one, he has a blindfold over his eyes, so it's kind of like blindly trusting. Not in this one. Eyes are open. The more you tap into your intuition, the more you start to uncover what your truth is. It stops being so confusing. It stops being such a chaotic mess. The fog is lifted. Number 7, the number of Spirit. Now, why the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, Spirit? Tell me about this. What is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse? Because that usually means like family and legacy. Clarify the 10 of Pentacles. Thank you. Yeah. Finding chosen family as well. Right? Finding a new foundation. Because coming from these people, like whoever taught you your money mindset, whoever taught you what stability is supposed to look like, it ain't it. No. Because if it was, you wouldn't even be here. You'd already be living with... we wouldn't be chatting. So, clearly, we need to leave this behind and go over here towards a new foundation. And not worry about this legacy thing. Well, that's how we've always done it. Okay, and? Yeah. If someone's giving you advice, pay attention to what their life looks like. If you like the way that their life looks, listen to their advice. If their life is a dumpster fire and they're not telling you to avoid doing things in order for your life to avoid looking like a dumpster fire, don't listen. Because if you listen to their advice, you end up where they're at. So make sure if they're giving you advice that you're paying attention to where they're at. 7 of Pentacles, yeah. Look at their life and see if it's fair. See if it's fair, see if it's balanced. Give me 1 second. My thing just turned on and it's loud, so give me a second. Sorry. I forgot to turn that off before I started. That's funny. Yeah, the Hermit. A call to go within. Yeah, a call to go within. So like looking at your life and seeing if it's fair for you. Call to go within. If it's not, figure out why. Please don't spam the chat. I've already put away my yes/no cards. I will not be answering them at this time. If you have a personal question and want a reading, I offer that at the link in my bio, okay? This is one big collective. I don't like putting your business on the internet, and I will not do that. I just won't. One more. Yep, that will help you get into your Empress energy. So cute. I love it. Embrace the Empress energy. Do it! The Empress energy is such a wonderful vibe to be in because it's like you're at peace. You're at peace. You can just be. You can just relax. You can just sit in your creativity. You can just enjoy life for what it is. 3 more, Spirit, on what they need to do about it at this time. Yeah, be creative. Get back into that energy. Three more, please, Spirit. And what they need to do about it at this time. Quiet energy. So if these are the type of people who squash your dreams when you talk about them, stop telling them to these people. Oh, what is this? Did you want to be up or down? Yeah. So we currently feel like our life isn't fair. Like we're stuck in a repeating cycle. Yeah, karmic cycle. But what do you want them to do about it, though, Spirit? It's kind of like... Clarify that, please. Let go of the betrayal. Let go of the self-betrayal, okay? If you want to break out of the karmic cycle, you have to choose different. Alright? If you want to break out of the loop, you have to stop using your own words and your own thoughts to perpetuate it, okay? Look at this. Over here wearing that suit. Wearing the suit when all he wants to do is go look at the beautiful sunset. If you don't want to work at that cube farm, if you want to be creating something, go create something. Go create something. Last one on what they need to do about it at this time. Thank you, Spirit. The King of Wands! Okay. And there's that magician right after that. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Earlier I said we were getting into our King of Wands. We were learning how to, trying to remember that the King of Wands is the King of Wands. He wears the crown. He doesn't need to prove he's a king. He just is. Right? And we're currently working on, I need to prove that my ideas mean something, that I'm worthy of having this stuff. You don't need to do that. The King of Wands just is. He's the king. He doesn't need anybody to tell him what to do. Right? They're telling you to get into that energy. And that's when you're able to manifest up here. When you start realizing, oh, why am I trying to prove myself? Who am I trying to prove myself to, and why is it relevant that they approve of me? Especially if they're super hypercritical, they're not going to approve of anything you do, so why care? Why? Why bother? Once you start doing that, you start reclaiming your own power, right? And going, I'm perfectly worthy of going after what I want. I will create because I want to create. I will do these things because I want to do these things. I'm allowed to want what I want. I'm allowed to dream what I dream. That's when you start using that brain of yours to call in better things. Because now we're not sitting here worrying about the worst case scenarios. Now we're just going after the thing. And we're more likely to get it that way. So that's beautiful. Okay, alright, I love it. So, I'm being called to get into the Oracle Advice cards, but before I do that, I always like to put a summarized video for people who can't make the live. That just requires me to do a quick recap in order to put that into a video. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to give me anything. All I ask for is a moment of patience. That's it. That's all I require. And then I will dive straight into the Oracle Advice cards and release you to the wilds. So thank you for your patience. So yes, that's the recap. So let's get into the Oracle Advice cards. I like them. They have, these ones specifically have animals and sentences that I feel give you a bit more food for thought, and more confirmations if you're looking for it. I did see your question, friend. I've already put away my yes/no cards, so I'm not really answering those at this time. Although this whole read has been about creativity and self-expression, and in the house of Sagittarius, which rules travel. So if you are traveling for the sake of creativity or self-expression, it is highly likely that you will indeed travel. So if that resonates, take it. If it does not, leave it. So let's get into the Oracle Advice cards and see what advice they can give you on your path forward, and then I will release you to the wilds. So yes, I love that though, getting into why, like, starting to really tap into loving our own creativity again, tapping back into it. I'm gonna light some incense to help clear that negative energy some more. Thank you for the likes, I appreciate you. There we go. Perfect. So, I love that though. Yeah, because if you're creative, you should create. Humans should be creating. Creative adventures are really good for our mental health because it allows us to take energy that we're holding on to, excess energy, and put it somewhere else in a healthy way. Okay, so Spirit, let's ease their fears, soothe their anxieties, and give them some guidance and clarity to help them walk forward on their path. It is my intention that if you see my face, whether here in the live or anywhere else on the internet, that the weight is removed off of your shoulders and you leave feeling lighter. So let's give them some guidance, Spirit, so they can proceed forward. Closing advice from a collective regarding this, Spirit, please. I saw that little chameleon. Let's see if he comes out. Closing advice from my collective here today, Spirit. Like I said earlier, if you have these beautiful ideas and you're telling it to these people who squash them immediately and critique it, stop telling them. You'll find you actually like your ideas and they perform well when you don't tell them to people who are going to try to squash it before it starts. Thank you, Spirit. The fox. I said earlier I saw the fox. That's funny. The fox spirit. Beautiful. 27. Someone here could be 27. It's think on your feet. Thank you for the follows and the likes. Think on your feet. Right now, we're not using our big, beautiful brain for that type of thing. We're not doing it. We are in a little bit of a loop. A loop-de-loop. Hi. If we were using our brain, our big, beautiful, creative brain... Thank you, you as well, friend. If we were using our big, beautiful brain to focus on what if it did work out, we would have a much easier time, right? Especially with all this beautiful orange and red. Orange and red is all about the root chakra, the foundation, the security, us feeling stable. And orange is all about creativity, right? We have koala spirit here in the reversed. Spirit has a plan. We feel like we can't get ourselves out of our situation. We feel like we can't use our brain to make our life better, and we don't trust spirit either. We feel like the universe kind of gave up on us when it could be further from the truth. You're here because they did not. You're here because they gave you an intuitive nudge to get clarity. You asked for answers. You asked for something, and I am here. They are here, and they're letting you know. They're trying to help you. Spirit has a plan. The universe has a plan. They're trying to help you out. Truth transcends illusion. 22. That's the builder number. The architect. Truth transcends illusion. Yes. The truth of the matter is that whoever told you that you can't be creative, that what you make isn't really worth anything, that you can't have emotions, that's their reality. That's not the reality, okay? That's not true. Just because it's your, like, even if it's like your parents who are like, you couldn't possibly be successful as a creative. Okay, many creatives out there are successful though, so the reality of the matter is yes, they can. And the only difference between you and that person is that you're in your meat suit and they're in theirs. So we've already disproved that theory, right? Slow and steady wins the race with the turtle spirit, right? So that Knight of Pentacles, that's what I have in my head right now. It's reminding me of that, of showing up for yourself, right? If you really want to be someone who is creative, who puts your ideas out there, do so. It's gonna be slow, right? You gotta show up for yourself. The healing process is slow as well, but it's worth it in the end. Trust in the magic. Okay, with 66, which talks about harmony. Harmony and balance. With that Lover's card. Harmony and balance. With all that blue. Trust in the magic. So as once you start using your mind to think this through and trusting that spirit's guiding you, right? Realizing that just because someone else says, oh, it can't be done, doesn't mean that that's true. And being okay with showing up and putting that discipline in towards what you want, then all you gotta do is wait for spirit to meet you halfway, because that's what they need from you. They need for you to shift your mindset. They need for you to come at it differently. They're like, stop operating in that modality, right? If they're telling you that the only way to live is through logic, and ignore your intuition, ignore your creativity, ignore your emotions, why would you have those things if you weren't allowed to use it? Why are they there? You're not supposed to ignore those things. They're inherently within us. They're part of us. We're supposed to balance the two. We're supposed to know when we're too much in here and too much in here, right? There needs to be a balance. Yeah, lay a solid foundation with another 6. So yeah, very heavy harmonizing. Harmony, balance. Balance is key. As you do this, you will lay that foundation. Right now, we're not on a very stable foundation, right? Because again, we have people telling us we have to operate one way, when in reality, you should be operating in your natural way, which is in your emotions, in your creativity, in your intuition. That's where you're supposed to be. But we're up here. And creatives who live up here are very destructive because these two don't do well together. Like, if they're not in alignment with each other, if they're not working properly, one's gonna try to crush the other, and it's gonna be very destructive. Because then instead of following the plan, we're following our mood, and then nothing ever gets done, and it reinforces the I can't do anything. And then we just live there, and nothing ever gets done. We don't ever achieve anything other than more pain, you know? (211) is relevant, as well as the number 8. So strength, having the strength to know when we need to quiet those more negative thought processes. Set healthy boundaries with the number 3. That communication, Archangel Michael. Speak up. Yeah, this may be also a call to speak up to those people. If they don't, like I said, if they're telling you, like, if you go to them with your new ideas, with your creative ventures, and they squash it, stop telling them about it. And if they continue to do so, just because they say that it is not, like, just because they have an opinion on it, doesn't mean it's true, that it's fact. That's how they think it is, but that doesn't make it reality. You know what I mean? And, you know, you can always call them out. Why do you squash everything I bring up? Why does it feel like whenever I have an idea, you're against it every time? You can do that. You can have that conversation. Yeah, believe in yourself. Create the things. If you want to create, create. Okay? Create. You're supposed to create. Humans are here to create. I create. That's our purpose. Our purpose is to be here and to create. That's what we're here for. I see you, card. And right now we're learning how to sing our own song with that number 12 again. Oh, that's so cute. Have our little crown on with the King of Wands. I don't need to prove myself. I am secure in who I am. I am confident. And I can express myself freely. I can sing. I can play my instruments. I can create. I can make my own beautiful music. And I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Because I am here. I have been given these beautiful gifts so that I can use them. They are not supposed to be in a cage. Notice how this little bird is not in a cage? We are not supposed to be caging that in. No, I can use them. They are not supposed to be in a cage. Notice how this little bird is not in a cage? We are not supposed to be caging that in. No. You're meant to fly. Create, you're meant to create. And be more playful. That Page of Wands, the Page of Cups energy. Be more playful. Be goofy. Get back into your creative self. Be a kid again. Do it. That will get you that motivation. That will spark up those ideas. And embracing the in-between. Right now we're learning. We're transitioning. There's no need to be anxious or restless. In order to change to a new reality, we must first unlearn the old one, right? You don't heal years, decades, a lifetime worth of one way of living overnight. That does not happen. It is a slow process. And besides, if you did that overnight, you wouldn't have the lesson you learned. You would just suddenly be different. You wouldn't have any of what you learned along the way, you know? You wouldn't know who you are, because it's in the in-between that you discover who you are, what you like, what you don't like. You know, that's part of it. That's the beautiful part. It's discovery. Last one, and then I'll release you to the wild. 5. Positive changes. Last one, please. Thank you. And be fearless and bold. The 4. The Emperor. Yes. Be fearless and bold. Look at this little badger. Badger does not care. Badger's wearing all those beautiful flowers. Right? No fashion sense, but it doesn't matter because who's gonna tell him? Nobody. Because he looks cute while wearing it. Because he's confident. Be fearless and bold. Create. Create boldly. Sing your song boldly. Be who you are. Boldly. Okay? Do it. Yeah. Do it. Do it. Be fearless. Be bold. Create. Do the thing. Alright? Do it. Love is all around. With the nightingale. Yeah, the nightingale. Love is all around you. Right? 14. Temperance, Sagittarius, Spirit, Angels. You think that if you are this way, people will not like you. No! There are billions of people on this earth. If you go out and you create and you put things out there, your audience will find you. Your community will find you. They will love you. Just because a couple of people don't like what you create does not mean that you are bad at creation. And a rebirth is assured with the number 5. That brings in the rebirth, the new beginning, being able to stand confidently in who you are to create. Yep. You're welcome. So, that is what I have for you today. I hope that it was helpful. Thank you so much for your time and your energy, for trusting and choosing me to be your reader for today. If you are interested in a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. I need 1,000 followers for it to be clickable. I think I may have just passed that today, so I will fix that immediately. If I haven't, well, when I get there it will be. But that's where I offer my services, so feel free to check that out and see if I vibe with you. If I do not, and this is the last time I see you, thank you for choosing me. Oh, beautiful! Thank you! Yes, I will make that clickable immediately. Wow, yay! Gosh. Sorry, that threw me off. I'm so happy. Hi. Oh my gosh, it's been such a long crawl. Let me tell you, if you are worried about being a creative and having people pick you apart, I was the same, okay? I'm here, I'm doing this, people have called me some crazy stuff. And I hit 1,000 subscribers today, and now I want to go cry and eat cake. So, like, thank you. Yes, you're welcome. So, yes, check out that link. I'll make it clickable immediately. That's where I offer my services. If I don't vibe with you and this is the last I see of you, thank you for being here anyway. Thank you for your time, your energy. I wish so much love, joy, abundance, luck, healing, wealth, health, all of it, all the beautiful things for you. And please remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it, okay? Hey, I'm glad to hear that. If you have chosen to follow me and you do like my vibe, thank you. I appreciate all of you. I really, really do. You're why I come here. Truly. Otherwise, I would have gave up a long time ago. But I appreciate every single one of you. And, oh, if you're watching this from the YouTube when I post it later, I keep forgetting you guys. I'm so sorry. The link will be in the bio, or in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!